So team, let's start this great action-packed session. And before we go ahead, let me brief you on the agenda that we are going to cover in next 1 hour. So team, this is our agenda. Now, without wasting time, let's start. Let's get to generative AI introduction. Now, what is Gen AI? So when we look at the Gen AI can do everything for us. So is it a genie in the bottle? Yes. You can call it a digital genie. So it conjures up intelligent, detailed, creative, sometimes unexpected, and sometimes downright bizarre creation. And team, you can ask for any number of wishes. It's not only limited to 3 wishes. You can ask for any number of wishes, and it will try to fulfill all those wishes. But now there is a catch. It can get you everything, but you have to understand whether it is right or wrong, because you have to be careful what you wish for. As Gen AI, as that digital genie, it will it will bring up those solutions for your wishes, but you have to be careful whether it's really the right solution or not, whether it is delightful or a wacky creation that might pop up next. So you have to be careful with this digital genie. Now, team, most of you who were with me in different sessions, as I saw some names, we are meeting again. So, team, we have spoken a lot about fourth industrial revolution, and we are part of it. The first industrial revolution, so when steam engines were introduced, that was the first industrial revolution. And then came the electricity, the power, and then the introduction of computers, the information technology. It transformed our ways of working. And now, today, we are part of the fourth industrial revolution, and that is marked by artificial intelligence. We usually refer to this as a digital transformation, where AI is playing a huge role, very important role. So that's where we are part of the fourth industrial revolution, and which is AI driven. And that's why it is very important for us to understand what is AI, what is artificial intelligence. Now, AI, it's day in, day out in our lives. You would see we are using web search, mainly Google, or you can use Binge. And now in our business processes also for credit card payments, if you are using for the fraud detection, it can help you detect the frauds. It can also be an algorithm in Amazon or Netflix where the way you watch the content, the type of content that you watch, it can bring up some recommendations for the content that you might like. So it proposes that you have seen so and so content, and this might be of your interest. So we are using day in, day out. AI is part of our life. Well, all of you might have seen that Gen AI that we are using, most commonly used platform, ChatGPT. Everyone is using it. But most of us have also tried Copilot from Microsoft. Well, there is Copilot from GitHub also, but here we are talking about Microsoft. And then there is a Bard from Google. You can use any of these, and there are many more. All these are different platforms that are related to Gen AI. So, team, it's very important for us to understand what is Gen AI. Now, when I talk about artificial intelligence and machine learning, so artificial intelligence is your discipline. And within that, you have machine learning. Within that, you have deep learning. Then we have LLMs, large language models. And then we have generative AI. So everything is part of AI. So what is AI? Now, AI is a capability of a system that can perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. Or it can be understanding the natural language, recognizing the patterns, making decisions, and solving problems. Making machines that can think like humans. All this is AI. But when we get to the machine learning, now what is machine learning? When we talk about machine learning, the first thing that we think of is chatbots. Now, chatbots, they were introduced in different domains. In fact, if you go to the Novel Vista portal, we also have a chatbot that can answer most of your queries. So chatbot is a type of machine learning. It's an example of machine learning that focuses on using data algorithms that enable AI to imitate the way that humans learn gradually and improving its accuracy. Ability, it is also treated as an ability of a machine to mimic intelligent human behavior. That is machine learning. Now, team, in machine learning, we have two types of classes. We have supervised learning, we have unsupervised learning. Now, when we talk about the supervised learning, what is supervised learning? In a very simple language, instead of deep diving into it, very simple language, supervised learning is learning from the data that is labeled, that is tagged. Like, let's say we are talking about learning from our incidents. So you have the incident number, you have the type of incident, who handled it, what was the description of the incident, how much time we took to resolve that incident, whether there was the level 2 team involved or not. Now, I'm just giving you a random example. That is more of a supervised learning where your data is totally tagged. Now, based on this, we might predict, or our machine learning might predict, that within how much time that next incident will be resolved. If the incident is of similar type, within how much time that incident can be resolved. Well, there could be unsupervised learning as well. Unsupervised learning where data is not labeled. Now, it's a huge amount of data where our system would sample that data, would categorize that data, and would draw the patterns. Now, unsupervised learning is used to understand mainly from the free text, where we can make predictions, we can understand the behavior of the customers.
I can come.
Team, you have to be on mute if you are not talking. Yeah, thank you. So in unsupervised learning, we were talking about data that is not labeled. So I was just giving you an example where it can go through all our customer satisfaction surveys, the feedback that we have got, and it can predict the health, and it can give us the patterns on when the customer satisfaction improves, when it is down, and all those predictions, all those analysis that we can get from unsupervised learning. So again, briefing you on supervised and unsupervised. Supervised is labeled data, unsupervised is not labeled. Now, this is again an example. Now here, as I said, supervised learning, where we learn from the tag data or label data. So here we are talking about an example, which is restaurant tips by order type. So on the x-axis, I'm talking about the total bill amount. On the y-axis, we are talking about the tip amount. So when the bill amount was higher, then how much was the tip? So here you can easily understand the relationship between the bill and the tip, the bill amount and the tip. And then you can predict the behavior of different guests or different people who come to that restaurant. And you can predict that if there is a bill of so much of amount, then there will be so and so tip that we can predict. So it is a label data. You are feeding in the label data to make the predictions. You are training your system on the label data. That is supervised learning. When we talk about unsupervised learning, where we have a huge chunk of data. So here I'm giving you another example: income versus job tenure. The years at the company the member is spending, or employee, for how long the person was in that company, and how much salary the person was drawing, the income. Now here, if we talk about the relationship, we haven't tagged the data, but this system, this unsupervised learning, can make the prediction whether the employees were on the fast track or not, fast track growth, were they getting growth at the right time or not. Those kind of predictions or that kind of analysis we can get from the unsupervised learning. Now, why we are talking about this? This is part of machine learning. But as we saw that after machine learning, there is a small circle that talks about deep learning. And within deep learning, we will have generative AI. So it is very important for us to understand supervised and unsupervised learning. Now, in Gen AI, we are making use of both. We are making use of supervised, unsupervised, and even semi-supervised learning. And we will see that. So here, I was just trying to explain the difference so it becomes easy for you to correlate. Now here, just to end it up, I'm saying supervised learning is where our x is an input. So x is a function of y. So where we are, y is a function of x. So where we are saying that to predict what is our output, x will be input to a model. We will use a model, large language model that we are going to use to predict the output. And then that output is compared with the expected output. If it is not, so then there would be an error and we rework on the model, and that's how we improvise. That is supervised learning, where our data is tagged, but unsupervised learning, where data is not labeled or not tagged. So there, your input is X, And then we are going to use the model that will generate the example or the output data. Now that is unsupervised learning. Now team, further I go to the deep learning, which is part of machine learning itself. So deep learning uses artificial neural networks, allowing them to process more complex patterns than machine learning. Now within deep learning, when we talk about those artificial neural networks, what are they? So they contain artificial neurons, which are called units, and those units are arranged in a series of layers. So here you can see we have an input layer, and then we have a hidden layer, and then we have output layer. So these neurons or those artificial neurons or those units can be in million of numbers or billions. And then in the hidden layer, there will be inferences that will be drawn. And accordingly, we will have the output layer. So this is artificial neural network, and deep learning uses this to come up with the output. So artificial neural networks process data in a way that is inspired by the human brain and used for predictive modeling, adaptive controls, or there could be other applications, and usually trained via data set. So that's about the ANN, artificial neural networks. Now team, when I talk about Gen AI, what is Gen AI? It is more advanced versatile capability that current AI technologies have, and it learns and adapts more autonomously, understands the context better, exhibit higher levels of creativity, problem solving abilities, interact with humans in more natural and intuitive way. So when I talk about generative AI, why generative AI is so good? Because you can use natural language to run the queries, or you can give the command in your natural language. It understands that natural language and will deliver the output also in that natural language. And that is the benefit of Gen AI. And we will see those benefits as we go ahead. Now, where do large language models fit in? So we were discussing the large language model, the LLM. So team, when we talk about this entire circle of AI, artificial intelligence, it's a discipline. Within that, we have machine learning. And within machine learning, we also have NLP, natural language processing. Now, we already discussed about the machine learning, but when we look at the NLP, natural language processing, so it is going to learn with the text data as input. And then we have deep learning. Now, deep learning based on the deep neural networks. So we already took an example of ANN, artificial neural networks, how they work. Now, within deep learning, we have LLM. So LLM is large language model, and it is using the NLP with more than billion of model parameters. I mean, there could be multiple parameters that is in billions. Now, team, when we talk about LLM, it's a natural language understanding, text generation, content creation. All these are the applications of LLM, and sentiment analysis. It can do that. So LLMs are advanced artificial intelligence models trained on vast amount of text data to understand and generate human-like text. So that is very simple to understand text. Now team, in LLM, so when we look at the LLM models, we have discriminative model, we have generative model. Discriminative model can classify and can understand the patterns and then can classify or predict the information or can predict the outputs, and typically trained on a data set that is labeled data set, as we discussed about the supervised learning. So discriminative model uses that supervised learning. But when we talk about generative AI, so generative AI will generate a new data, and it works on both. It works on the supervised, unsupervised. Mainly there will be more of unsupervised learning that will be done in generative AI. So it understands the distribution of data and how likely a given example is, and predicts the next word in a sequence. So that comes from generative AI. Now here, just to give you an example, when we were talking about discriminative model, we were saying if you give a command that you need a picture of a dog, so it would understand what your commands are. It would try to classify between different pictures. It will try to understand what is dog, and it will get you the picture that exists in the data set, in the training set that was fed into that particular system. And it will bring in the similar picture. So you give a command to display a picture of a dog, it will display a picture of a dog. But when you get to the generative AI, when you give a command to display a picture of a dog, it is going to create a new picture of a dog. It is going to generate new data, and that is generative AI. Now, what could be the benefit? Simple benefit is that you are not copying data that belongs to someone else. You are generating new data, you are generating new information, you are generating new codes, and that gives you a good coverage from getting into IP infringements, or you're not breaching any compliance or any copyrights. So that is the benefit. Now, how did large language models come into being? Let's look at some history. So team, when we look at our past, it all started with introduction of computers. And if you look at the wave, the scale of compute, it was very less. So it used to be doubled in every 20 months. And then slowly it increased the speed. We started scaling up fast. So it started to double up every 5 to 6 months. And then from 2008 onwards, we entered into our deep learning era. So those 10 years from 2008 to 2017, they were those main years of deep learning where the magnitude of the compute data was doubled. I mean, it was huge, not even double, it was huge. And now we have huge data that we are learning from the training set that we are using for our LLMs. It's a huge data on which it is trained. And now in our generative AI, we are using that deep learning that we have done. So deep learning phase is over. Now is the time that we are getting benefits out of it. So our systems, our generative AI, that tool that we are using, it could be ChatGPT, it could be Copilot. So all these tools are using the data set that was already used for training these systems, training the LLMs. So that was from the deep learning. Now deep learning is over. Now we are getting the benefits. Now, in fact, just to give you an example, other day I was on ChatGPT. I thought, let's check whether can I get some help in the share market. So I ran a command to get the information, and there it goes. It says from the compliance of that was implemented in 2022, it is not allowing us to capture that information. It does not share the information. In fact, if I try to get some critical information, some confidential information about an organization as well, it gives me the same message, the copyrights. And that was the last data set. I think it was updated in 2022. And that is my interaction with ChatGPT, my personal experience. So our deep learning is over. Now we are into getting the benefits. Now we are running the commands. We are able to generate new data based on the training data that is already fed into the system. And now if you look at these generative models, so they are huge. I mean, they are scaling up very fast. We started with only a few million of parameters, then it went to billion, and now we have more than 540 billion parameters. We are growing that fast. So this is how it is referred to as large language model, or general purpose language models, or unified language models, or foundational language models. So they are, I mean, the number of parameters that we are using are huge. Now, team, we can easily discuss what is Gen AI, what is not. If you look at the Gen AI right now, we say that Gen AI, where you give a command in a natural language, and it can give you the information in a very natural and easy to understand language. You want to generate new pictures, you give a command, it can generate new pictures, new audio, new content, new codes. It can generate new data. Now, what Gen AI is not. So if you give a number as an input and it gives you the exact number or similar numbers, so same numbers, so then it is not AI, Gen AI. So we need to understand that Gen AI will generate a new content, new data. And that's where we were saying Gen AI uses supervised, semi-supervised, unsupervised learning. Or you can say that if you give a command, it can generate new pictures, new code, and image generation as well. You are not going to copy the code that somebody has already written. So you are going to get a new code being generated for you. If you are a developer, you can use that. Now, team, how we progress into the Gen AI. So we had huge algorithms that were written to recognize, predict, and generate human languages. Like here, for an example. So go read huge pile of books. So we wrote codes for it. And then those codes, I mean, where we started using the supervised learning, and we could use those discriminative models to differentiate and predict between different concepts. So here, just an example, like you have learned about cats and millions of other concepts. What's a cat? So it can give you that information. Whereas generative AI will generate a new content, new information. So generative AI works on that LLM, large language model. So team, now in the end, I'm just going to, before we get to the applications, I'm just going to wrap up this topic by discussing what is Gen AI and how it is different. So Gen AI, as we discussed, is a subset of artificial intelligence focused on generating new content or data in response to your prompt. Prompt as in the questions that you are going to ask Gen AI tools. It mimics the characteristics of the real world data, builds on existing technologies like LLMs, large language models, and unlike traditional AI methods that focus on recognizing the patterns or making predictions based on the existing data, Gen AI will generate new data. And Gen AI uses machine learning models like GANs, that is generative adversarial networks, and LLMs, that is large language models, to create new content. Now, team, as we were talking about GANs or generative adversarial networks, so team, what does it consist of? It consists of two networks, two neural networks. One is generator, another is discriminator. Now, discriminator will be used to differentiate between the real data and generated data to understand whether it is same or not. And generator will always create a new data. So both are trained simultaneously through competitive processes on the training data set. And through adversarial trainings, it is adapting, it is learning, it is improvising. So GANs learn to generate increasingly realistic data. So that was about Gen AI, introduction about the Gen AI. Now, team, about application of Gen AI, you have seen these applications. It could be in retail, it could be in bank, it could be in aviation, it could be in any domain. So some examples I've got for you. So here, generative AI, particularly GANs, is widely used for generating photorealistic images, artworks, and graphics. You can use it in image generation, text generation, where you can use that text maybe for storytelling or content creation. So it helps you there. Drug discovery. So generate new molecular structures with desired properties. So that's about the drug discovery in the healthcare. Data augmentation, where it can help you with the image recognition, speech recognition, and then music composition, creating, it is creative application. It can help you with the music composition, visual effects. So team, practical implementation and future outlook. If you look at that, there are different success stories. So it is widely used. GANs are widely used in brands like Nike, Adidas, and whereas DeepMind's AlphaFold. So based on the generative AI principles, revolutionize protein folding, and they can predict or potentially advancing drugs discovery and disease treatments. So that's really good. Again, healthcare. Artbreeder, a platform powered by Gen AI, enables users to create unique artwork by blending existing images, fostering creativity and artistic expressions. And future of Gen AI, now there could be many more areas where we can use Gen AI mainly for innovation. So here we are seeing advancement in the research. So breakthrough in generative AI continues to push boundaries of what's possible, leading to innovation or innovative techniques and methodologies, innovative applications, evolving methodologies. So Gen AI is the future. Now, future innovations, it could be about dynamic content generation, it could be interactive interfaces, AI-assisted design and creativity everywhere. Now, team, when we are using Gen AI, we have to be very careful about risk and compliance. So when you are going to train Gen AI on the data set, which is very specific to your organization, so there you have to be careful. What kind of data are we going to use, or are we going to feed into the system? And is that leading up to the security breaches? How do we control it? What kind of ethical considerations we should keep in mind? Regulatory compliance that we need to adhere to. So all these things have to be implemented. And you have to create risk management strategies. You have to implement those strategies. You have to do the risk assessment, mitigations from time to time. This is how you're going to protect your organization or your business. Now, team, there are some use cases. When we talk about Gen AI, it can be used in the development environment, it can be used in the operations team. So when we talk about development teams, so development teams can use it for code generation or auto completion of those codes, automated testing, bug detection, data augmentation for machine learning. So there are a lot of applications of Gen AI in development. And when we look at the operations, we can use it in different areas. So anomaly detection in network traffic, it could be not only network, it could be entire system, entire environment. You can detect the anomalies and you can predict the failures. You can be careful from those failures. You can avoid those failures. You can auto resolve those failures. In fact, we have written so many Python scripts for auto resolution of the incidents. It also helps in natural language understanding for customer support, improves, enhances the customer support. So these are few use cases that I wanted to bring up to you. Now, team, when we look at the growth path, what is the growth path that you can expect? So you first grasp the foundational knowledge, and then there are specialized training, domain-specific trainings. You go for them. Then you do the hands-on onto the Gen AI tools, Gen AI concepts, and then you start contributing to the research and then continuous learning and improvement. This could be a very good growth path. Now, how you can get benefited from the certifications that we have, I'm going to show you that in the end. So team, there was on Gen AI, we discussed about what is Gen AI. We looked at the application of Gen AI, the risk and compliance about Gen AI. Now here, I would take a pause. I would hand over this session to Mayuri. Mayuri is going to take us to this game. There's a small gamification done by Novel Vista. In fact, Novel Vista has a unique offering of doing the gamifications. We are doing gamification for most of the organizations, helping them with most of the trainings. So it's learning with the game. So here I will request Mayuri to take over, and you can enjoy this game of stack of coins, and she can facilitate. So I'll stop sharing. Mayuri, are you there?
Yes, Vikas. Thank you so much.
Here we go.
Great. So I hope everyone is ready and excited to play some game. Allow me a moment to share a link. Okay, so I have shared one URL in the chat box. Before going to that, I would like to demonstrate you the sign up process. For that, I am sharing my screen. Okay, I hope my screen is visible for everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, so the link which I have shared, once you click on the link, you will land up on this page. For that, you have to do a sign up. Post clicking the sign up, you will get this page on your screen. So you have to mention your first name, your last name, your email ID, and the session ID. So for today's webinar, the session ID is 1772. Post this. I'll share this session ID with you in the chat box. Once you do the sign up, you will be on the gaming page, the main home page of the gamification. And post that, you have to click on the live games over here. Okay. So I believe it's pretty much clear to everyone. I am sharing the session ID. The URL I have already shared. I'll just need a quick confirmation. Once your sign up is done, we'll wait for a few seconds. Let the participants, the players get on the same page.
Once we sign up, we have to click on live games, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And I believe everyone can see the stack of coins card on their screen.
I'm sorry, what is the session ID?
That's 1772.
Thank you.
What would be the password here?
You have to do the sign up first.
Okay.
Yeah. Your first name, last name, your email ID, and the session ID, which is 1772. Okay, so I have started the registration for Stack of Coins, and we have some players over here: Shivani, Tarang, Ashutosh, Harshal, Rajendra. Great. So as in the players are joining in the session lobby, game lobby. Meantime, I will quickly brief you about the game. So we have total 10 MCQ based questions.
Barcelona.
Okay, I believe someone is on mute. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so we have total 10 MCQ based questions for this game. And for every question, you will have 100 stack of coins. The twist over here is for every question, you can have three attempts. But in your first attempt, if you give a wrong answer, your coins will deduct to 50. In your second attempt, still you give a wrong answer, your coins will deduct to 25. Your third and last attempt, if you give a wrong answer, your points will get to 0 and you will move to the next question. No negative marking, no knockout rounds. For every question, you will have 100 stack of coins. Make sure you give your correct answer in very first attempt to have a maximum stack of coins in the end. I believe the rules are pretty much clear to everyone.
Yes. So, shall we click on take challenge?
Yes, you have to click on take a challenge. Post that, you will be in the game lobby. So we just waited for a few seconds because many of the players are joining in. Okay, on the countdown of 5, I will start the game. And for this, you have 3 minutes to go. Okay, so on the countdown of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I have started the quiz, and best of luck.
And Mayuri, Vikas here. Can you bring up the leaderboard? Can you show the
Yes,
leader?
I am about to share that screen.
Yep. Thanks.
Okay, so I have shared my screen, 30 seconds up, and we have Abhishek who's leading the board. Then we have, okay, now we have Ritesh who has taken a lead, Abhishek at the second position, and Tarang at the third position.
Yes, come on, team. I see it's a huge competition. Many people with 400. Wow, that's amazing.
1 minute up, we have 2 more minutes to go.
Let's see who leads. Wow, I have a lot of people on 500. That's great. Good speed. 525, 600. Wow. 725. Wow, Manish is leading.
So it's a quite neck-to-neck competition between Manish, Abhishek.
Yep, and Ritesh as well. Ritesh, Tarang. Wow, a lot of people on 600. 650. Wow. I think Manish is done. Now others. Abhishek, Ritesh, you have a chance to beat Manish. Abhishek. Okay, we have Hari Krishnan. That's amazing. Hari Krishnan at 700. Abhishek at 750. Wow, and still playing. Great. Hari Krishnan
Minutes up.
800. Oh, how many minutes? 2 minutes, is it?
2 minutes up. We have last 50 seconds to go.
Okay, right now we have Hari Krishnan with 800 points. He has finished the game. Abhishek, can you beat Hari Krishnan? Oh, Tarang at 850. Wow, that's amazing. Rajendra at 850. Still playing. Rahul, 825.
Last 30 seconds to go.
Okay, let's see who's on the leaderboard. Just scroll up. Let's see. Well, there are a lot of people, but can we
Last
just
10 seconds to go.
can you just scroll to the top and let's see who's at the top. Tarang 950. Wow, Tarang, Rajendra 950, Abhinav 950,
5,
Rahul 925.
4, 3,
Rohit, you have a chance.
2, and
Shivani.
1. Time's up, and now I'm ending the quiz.
Rohit with 1000 points. Great. Congratulations, team. That's really wonderful.
So Rohit have given all of the answers correct in very first attempt. So Rohit had scored golden badge with total 1000 points. We have
Great.
Rajesh with the silver badge at 950 points. And then we have Shivani with the bronze badge, 950 points. Congratulations to all the winners. I request everyone if they can just share their, if they can mute them themselves, congratulate the winners, or by the emoticons of the Zoom.
Mayuri, you can take a picture of winners if we ask them to switch on the
Yes.
camera, if they can.
Yes. I was about to come up to there. If I can request Rohit, Rajendra, and Shivani, if you could share your screen so that we'll have a quick snapshot of today's winner.
So we can see Rajendra. Others? Yes, Rohit. Now, do we have Shivani?
Hi, yes, I am here. Sorry, I had some technical issue in unmuting.
Okay.
No worries.
So we were kind of trying to click the pictures of the winners.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you could turn on, if it's possible, you can turn on the camera. Shivani, is it possible for you to turn on the camera?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
She's there.
Yes.
Yeah. So Mayuri, now you can try to click the picture.
Just a moment. Yeah, Shivana is there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was not ready for the camera.
No worries, no worries. Great. So we'll have a quick snapshot of all our three winners from Stack of Coins. Great. If I can get a thumbs up from all the winners. Thank you so much. And congratulations again.
Thank you.
Great. Over to you, Vikas. Thank you so much for letting me this gamification happen.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Mayuri. And team, let me share my screen again. And please confirm once you are able to see my screen. Is it visible?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, great. So team, we just finished our game, Stack of Coins. And now I'll just take a few minutes to explain about a unique offering from Novel Vista, where we bring to you the generative AI labs and services. So here we are going to introduce you to the cloud generative AI lab, where you can have multiple tools. You can do the hands-on on those particular tools. So if I talk about Novel Vista, what we are doing here. So Novel Vista AI Labs represent a portal into a frontier of innovation tailored for app developers, machine learning engineers, data scientists, and beyond. Now, these labs transcend mere spaces of experimentation. They serve as center of empowerment. Novel Vista AI Labs are committed to reshaping the approaches to product development by harnessing the capabilities of artificial intelligence and mainly the Gen AI. Now here, categories of offerings, what we have. So we have AI service capability for Gen AI empowerment and development. Now AI tools capability for enhancing the productivity of the teams. We also have AI-based gamified sandbox platform for fresher onboarding training programs. And we also have offering for AI for non-technical people. So we are selling these labs as a service model. It is Novel Vista's as a service model. Now, if we look at as a service model, like we have it in cloud, so here we are creating the entire life cycle of the project. So if you look at different phases, you have design, development, testing, deployment, project management. And for these, what kind of tools that are available? Now, these tools, do we have these in the market? Yes. You can go and you can experiment on these tools. You can use these tools. They are available in the market. But what do you get? What is different when you come to Novel Vista? Novel Vista becomes the one-stop kitchen to use any of these tools, to learn, to do the hands-on, to do the upskilling, and to learn how you can use these capabilities in your entire project lifecycle. In fact, we can talk about different cloud, like you have Microsoft Azure, OpenAI, Google, AWS. So what kind of AI capabilities do we have there? So there are some examples like you can use Azure, developing a custom recommendation engine for e-commerce platform, building AI-powered chatbot for customer support, training a language model to generate human-like text, and using Auto ML to build and deploy a predictive maintenance model for machinery, and implementing computer vision to detect objects in images using Amazon's recognition model. So team, these are just some of the examples, and there are many more that you can do when you use these services, and they are unique offering from Novel Vista. Now team, before we go ahead, I have a demo that my another team member, Karishma, who's going to do for us. Now this demo is for solving a problem. She is going to tell us that how to solve the problem. Now what is the problem statement? So team, here we are going to work on the loan payment defaulter identification system. How many people are there who have defaulted on their EMIs? So we are saying the problem statement is that in the financial domain, the timely repayments of loan is of paramount importance for both lenders and borrowers. However, identifying defaulters who have missed their loan payment. Now, when you talk about EMI, it is equated monthly installments over a specified period, and it's a challenging task. Now, especially when dealing with a large data set. Now, what is our objective? To develop a robust code solution that can efficiently identify loan payment defaulters who have missed their EMIs for the last 3 months. And the developer are tasked with creating a program that takes input data consisting of borrower information and their loan repayment history, and outputs a list of individuals who have defaulted on their EMIs for 3 consecutive months. So we are going to write a code to detect this. Now here, I will hand over the system to Karishma, and Karishma can quickly show us how she can use a tool to generate a code like this. So yes, Karishma, I am going to hand it over to you.
Yes, thank you, Vikas.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Am I audible to everyone? Hello?
Yep, you are.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay, fine. So let me share the screen first. Okay, so now, so very first, so we have this platform that is called Play Novel Vista. Okay. So in that platform, what I need to do is already created a sign up one account. Okay, just I need to log in that account. So here, this is my account. If I quickly log in this account, okay, just a minute. Okay, I think this is not one account. Let's say, suppose if I click on sign up, if I write Karishma, that's a coacher. Okay, if I change my email ID, so this is our session ID. So 1770. If I quickly click sign up, just a minute.
I think
Yeah,
177.
it's a user already there. Okay, fine. So just I need to write the name is here. This is my email ID. And here this is my password. So I quickly log in. Still it says invalid credential. Okay, wait. Okay. Okay, fine. So still it's invalid credential. What we can do is, let me change the mail ID. Again, try to connect with some different mail ID. Okay. Okay, now you can see. So this is our platform where we have hundreds of different Gen AI tools, which will be categorized into different phases of the software development life cycle. You can say design phase. We have a different Gen AI tools for design phase, development phase, then testing phase, then deployment phase, then project management. Okay, these are the Gen AI services that, and this will be the assignment and process. You can see. Okay, but now for the demonstration purpose, we need to focus on development one because we have a lots of developers with us. So it will be helpful for the developers to work with this Gen AI tools when they are developing a product. Okay, or they are trying to write a complex logic. Okay, so very first we have to discuss with this first tool, that is GitHub Copilot. Okay, what is GitHub Copilot? So basically this is a Gen AI tool which is developed by GitHub and it is owned by the Microsoft. Okay, it is, we can call this tool as a code completion tool. Okay, it is helps to complete the code. Okay, so now let's quickly, we have to click on this play. Now you can see you will get some username and password. What you need to do, you need to copy this username as well as you need to copy this password and you have to click on next. Simply, if I click on next, you can see we need to input that password and username for start the demonstration of this tool. Okay, so let's say Windows B, we can choose the username and we can choose the password here. Okay, now we have to click on login. So once we click on login, okay, now we have to deal with this GitHub Copilot tool. Now we have to click on GitHub Copilot. So it will start loading. Okay, so it will take a few minutes. Okay, now you can see. Okay, so this is it will be look like your Visual Studio code. The environment which will be look like a Visual Studio because basically GitHub Copilot will be isolated or we can say integrated with the environments like a Visual Studio codes. Okay, so now what we can do is click on file, click on new file. Okay, we can create a one file. Here we can give the name of this file as, let's say, banking dot java. So basically this GitHub Copilot is working with the Java, Python, okay, then Go, this kinds of programming languages. Okay, so now we are dealing with the Java first. So let's quickly create one file and give the name of the file is banking.java. Okay, so here, let's say, okay, so it will be, yeah. So now what we need to do is we need to write a problem statement. So this tool is that much efficient. Just if you provide a problem statement, it will generate the code, the new code for you. So let's quickly write a problem statement. So write a program, let's say, to find the customers of bank who did not pay EMI from last 3 months. Okay. So that will be the problem statement which I provide to this tool. Okay, now what I need to do is I need to press enter and I need to press tab. By pressing enter and tab, you can see, you can just observe, it will create the code. It will create a package. It will import it. It will, what we can say. So basically the package name is form.bank. Okay. And these java.util.analyst package. So it will uses the collection framework over there, the logic of the collection framework. So by pressing the enter and tab, automatically it will generate the code. You can see. Okay, so let's come over there. Okay, we are on this line. Just if I press enter, if I press tab, if I press enter, if I press tab, you can see the code is generated in this way. Just we need to press enter key and tab key. Okay, now it will create another file, let's say customer. So another class we can say. which will be inside the com.bank package. Just a minute. I need to press enter. Again, I need to press tab. Enter, tab. Okay. So here, here you can see. So if we write this code manually, okay. So manually, first we need to think which of the either we can use array, either we can go with a collection framework. That things we need to decide before going actually with the solution. We need to decide this many things. Then we need to decide what we need to input. Okay. Then we need to decide what will be the conditions and all these things. So this kinds of logic we need to decide. Okay. And we need to write also. So to writing this code, we require a, we can say, lots of logic thinking and lots of efforts to write like this kinds of codes. Okay. So, but with the help of this Gen AI tool, it will be simply perform all the things easy for us. Okay, like this way. Okay. So we'll paste one more thing here. Suppose, so this is one example. Okay. This is one example. In this way, it will generate a code. Just you need to write a problem statement. Okay. And you can, after writing a problem statement, just press enter and just press tab and enter. So it will generate a code for you. Okay. Now, second thing, suppose the second example, that is not actually the part, but here, suppose if I write only simply class name, if I provide class name, like let's say even odd, and if I press enter, let's say if I open the curly brace and if I press enter, okay, and if I press tab, now you can see it will automatically, by taking from the class name, it will generate the code for finding the even odd number. Can you see this magic? Hello.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
it will it will generate entire code. Okay, let's again, we can focus out just a minute. Yeah, entire code is also generated. So see here, just I provide a class name, and from the class name, it will generate the whole code to find the even odd number. Now again, I'm getting back to the previous one. So what was the question? Write a Java program, let's say, or we can say write a Java code to find customers who did not pay loan EMIs from, let's say, last 3 months. Okay. If I press enter, if I press, okay, let's say tab, enter. Again, tab, enter, tab, tab. In this way, it will work. Okay. Yeah, just a minute, why it's stuck over there? Just need to check. Press enter. Okay, we can again try. Same is the problem. Enter, enter. Let's enter. Tab. was working. Hmm, just a minute. Yeah, it's taking time to generate. Just, enter, tab. Yeah, enter, done, enter, tab. So, there's only generating up to this. Enter.
Okay. Hi, Karishma. Thank you so much for this lovely demo. I hope I'm clearly audible.
Yes, my
Thank you, Karishma, for this lovely demo.
Yes.
Request Vikas to please continue with the sessions.
Okay. First of all, thank you so much, Karishma. I think team, usually there are issues with the tools. Now, before we came for this session, she could easily display the demo and everything was done. But I think something went wrong with the tool, maybe latency in the network, or could be any such issue. Well, it works well. So maybe you can try it when you get access to those tools. Now, first thing that I want to tell you from that demo, the main intention was just to show you that you can give a command in a very natural language, very simple language. You don't have to give the parameters or the command in a coding language. No, it was very simple. You need not, I mean, you don't have to have the experience of writing very complex commands. Very simple, easy to understand commands. And plus, the system is intelligent. If you might have seen, when you write EMI, equated monthly installments, it picked up the meaning of EMI and it was trying to generate a code for that EMI. So you don't have to worry about most of the spelling mistakes, most of the correct version of the English, because it's an intelligent tool and it recognizes that and it can give you all that information. Well, in the past, there were some discussions with many people. They said, oh, we could easily pick up code from Google. Yeah, great. Ram is saying, I'm a Java guy. Yes, Ram. Even Karishma is from Java background. Yeah. Okay, so team, now in the past, many people said we can copy code from Google. We can get the code from Google. Then why we need Gen AI? See, when you copy code from the Google, it is written by someone else. So you might get into those copyright issues. But when you come to Gen AI, it is generating a new code for you. It's generating new data. So that is the benefit. And plus, it's a very simple and easy to understand language. Natural language processing, NLP. It's using NLP. So this is the benefit. and we wanted to show it to you. So team, that was the entire intent of that demo. And thank you so much, Karishma. Thank you. Now team, here, I'm just taking a time to share some information on the certifications that we have. Now, these certifications are from GSDC, Global Skills Development Council, and Novel Vista is authorized training and exam partner with GSDC. Now, what is the benefit? First of all, these certifications have a global value, and GSDC is going to give you a lifetime free membership to online learning content that they have. So there is a lot of content, a lot of webinars that they do. You get a free access to all of those once you do any certification from GSDC. So it's a lifelong learning process that you get into. Plus, if there is any new version of that certification that comes in the market, you get a free voucher code from GSDC. And there you have a chance to upskill yourself on the new version. You don't have to pay for that certification. So that is the benefit that you get from being connected to GSDC. Now, team, in GSDC, we have a certification, the entry-level certification, that is Certified Generative AI Professionals. Once you do this certification, then after this, you can go for the next level. That could be very role-specific, very domain-specific, like we have Gen AI for software developers and Gen AI for cybersecurity, for business, for HR and L&D, finance and banking, marketing, retail, risk and compliance, and even for project management. So it's not that Gen AI is only for technical people. As I told you earlier, Gen AI can be done by non-technical people also. It's making life of the people easy. It could be any domain. So there are so many certifications that are available. Plus, now in case if you give the exam for the first time and let's say there was some issue and you could not clear it. So in most of these cases, GSDC also gives you the second free attempt, but you have to check with the GSDC team. And that is the benefit of connecting to GSDC. So as I said, lifelong membership, global summits, workshops, boot camps, summit speakers, newsletters, downloadable implementation resources, complimentary upgradation to the certificates. And the participating companies, well, there are so many companies that are connected with GSDC and Novel Vista. Novel Vista is registered partner with all these organizations to conduct different trainings. And so team, in the end, without taking much time, in the end, I'm just going to get you the voucher code. So this voucher code is for Certified Generative AI Professional Certification. And if you use this voucher code, you get 50% discount. And this voucher code is valid if you are going to register in next 24 hours. And after that, this code cannot be used. So that is the offer that comes from Novel Vista to you. And with this team, I'm at the end of my session. I can open it for question answers. So if you have any questions, I can take those questions.
What is the cost of certification?
Well, cost will be shared by my team. So can you just drop a message? You will have the toll-free number here. You can call up the toll-free number, or maybe you can write to us, or you can revert to the same email through which you got your link for joining this particular session. You can connect to us or certifications@novelvista.com. Yeah.
What are the benefits for project management?
Project management, well, yes. So see, in Gen AI, the first thing, if you start using these tools, your time to market will be fast, plus your project success rate of the project will be higher. Quality parameters, what quality parameters are needed, what controls you're going to implement, and how it can help you to be compliant to the requirements of the customer. You can use Gen AI in all these areas. Like if I'm a project manager, I hope you are talking from the project manager's perspective.
Yes.
Yeah? So if I'm a project manager, if I have to do the appropriate planning, I can use Gen AI to help me with the planning. It can help me with risk management strategies. It can help me with the stakeholder management, everything.
Is there any certification specific to project management?
Yes. So as I showed you here, There was one for the project managers here, Gen AI in project management. But your first foundation that you have to do, which we are calling as certified generative AI professional, that is must. So you complete this and then you can go for the next level.
And this is global certification we're talking, right?
Yes, yes. Global certification, it has a value across the globe.
Acha. Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
And also, because when we spoke about this generative AI in marketing, is it for the field marketing or the digital marketing?
Well, this is for marketing as a field. Digital marketing will be um, will be a small content in that, not completely digital, but yeah.